ready, million ways capable of saying, well, that colour blue, it depends on what frequency you're looking through it, and if I wear these glasses, and perhaps if I wasn't such a patriarchal hetero, yes, I could see it all in a greeny kind of, yes, it's increasingly green. We can persuade ourselves of anything if we have the incentive. And the underlying incentive we have is, okay, so I'm a reporter in Washington. Let's say I was just a reporter, forgive the phrase, in Skokie. What would I be covering in Skokie?
And for those of you in Skokie that want to send hate mail, you can just send it over to...
Directly to me.
Directly to Neil.
And I'd be doing tickets on the street. I'd be doing a local retail store, mall opening. I'd be writing about a city council meeting. Oh, what does that do to my ego? Oh, you guys in Skokie are cruel. Much better to send me to Washington, where I can hobnob with famous politicians. I can ask questions in the White House, where the money's better. We got the Kennedy Center. It's just lovely here. With all your money, thank you very much, especially Skokie. And so in that context, there's an enormous incentive for reporters to go with the flow, to support big government. And who is the party of big government that makes us important? The Democrats. If small government Republicans were in power, what would they do? They'd decentralize power back to the states, and suddenly I wouldn't have so much interesting to do. Or maybe if I interviewed a Republican politician, he'd say, well, I'm not really doing anything today because Americans are running their own lives, so hey, you want a cup of coffee? Let's go out on the back porch and look at them all. Oh, the disaster, the humiliation. We like being important. We like the money. We like government being important. And so it's a gigantic ego train, which makes us, in the old term, camp followers of Washington. And that's my best explanation for it. I'm sure I can think about it.
If we turn that on its head, and you have someone, let's say like a Donald Trump, bar you from his events and from his meetings, doesn't that signal that, okay, we need to have a talk as to why we're not allowed here anymore and what you expect from us, and kind of set expectations between each other?
No. It signals I'm magnificent.
I'm wrong again.
My friends in the media trade love me. I'm famous now. Trump hates me. I must be good. Oh, I'd get all the tweets and love coming in.
So it's better off to go to war.
It'd be great for my career to be hated by Trump, if I may. But I won't think of the important things, because the important things are threatening. So, why is Trump kicking me out, so to speak? Well, because he won the primary. Well, why did he win the primary? Because he beat all the Republicans. Why did the real estate guy from New York beat all the Republicans? Because all the Republicans were so impossibly lame. Because the Washingtons failed. And that means I, as a DC reporter, have failed. You think I'm going to go that train? No, I'm not going to think all those thoughts. So I'm not even going to imagine those thoughts. And I'm just going to bathe in the warm congratulations from my progressive media friends that Trump doesn't like me. So there's an incentive to hate Trump, like there's an incentive to hate Reagan. The only thing that counters this is the sustained application of political, social, and economic power from ordinary Americans who keep our friends, progressive friends, out of office, deny us status by shrinking government, deny us money by lowering taxes, and gradually our egos will shrivel and we'll go find another job. But that's a long-term project. For the moment, it's just fight to stop Democrats. Look, Democrats believe they get to appoint Supreme Court judges. And you know what Supreme Court judges do? They get to decide love, the meaning of life, death, everything. Of course we love being Democrats. It's what makes us powerful and important. It's marvelous. I have not signed up with that team.
So would you say there's more of less of a government media complex and more of a Democrat media complex?
Yeah. But the Democrats are the party of government, at least formally and ideologically. In practice, the Republicans are rarely willing to undergo the political and social pain to fight against government as a sort of political force. But Republican voters, frankly, are tired of seeing taxes and power and money get sucked up to Washington. Thank you very much. And meanwhile, we send you the detritus of our broken policies, like, hey, jihadi in Orlando. Sorry about that. Hey, we're not changing anything.
I can listen to Neil all day.
Me too.
Neil, tell everybody, of course, one of the political editors at Breitbart. We can always find you there. On social media, where can we find you?
Well, actually, at the top, apparently. Apparently, it turns out
Numero uno.
That Breitbart is apparently the world's #1 political website on social media, Facebook and Twitter and such. Like, wow, how did that happen? I guess because we write stuff that's useful to ordinary Americans. Like When I write about immigration, I put in numbers. Does everyone understand out there that under immigration law, 4 million Americans turn 18 every year? Your brothers, your sons, your cousins, the kid down the road. And we bring in 1 million foreign workers a year. So that's 4 to 1, 20%. 1 in 5 is foreign. Of course that drives down wages. Of course it makes it harder for your kids to get good jobs. We know all this. We in Washington know it. We don't tell you. You want to know about transgender policy? What's the goal in the bathroom fight? The goal of the transgender guys is not merely to get in the bathroom. It's to destroy the idea of the two sexes. We are used to a society and laws based on man and woman, boy and girl. But we want to destroy that. So there's man, kind of woman, maybe-ish man, a bit of womanish. And once we destroy the distinction between male and female, then we in Washington can write new rules to repair all the damage. Woohoo!
Wow. I'm going to leave here a little more depressed, but definitely a little more rejuvenated to keep doing what we do here, Russ. Neil, listen, thanks so much for giving us this perspective. It truly is enlightening for me. I think I saw Russ's head bob more during this interview than any other interview, because this is everything you say. It's amazing. Neil, thanks so much. Final thought time here on the show. I want to thank Neil Monroe from Breitbart. I want to thank Dan Gaynor, our pal, going behind enemy headlines with us this week once again. And I want to thank Chris Farrell. Chris having the prediction 2 weeks before this week that Hillary would get off scot-free. I didn't want to believe it, but it happened. So listen, for my final thought, I want to end on a positive note. It's going to be really hard to do, but I'm going to try. And here's the positive note. I know it's hard out there when you're conservative, especially when you're behind enemy lines like we are here in the People's Republic of New York City, outnumbered 8 Democrats to 1. I know it's tough out there to keep your chin up in the face of all this news and seeing the hypocrisy in the media and seeing the unequal treatment of those who are insiders in the political system, and to see that there's one rule for them and a different rule for all us schlubs out there trying to make it. I get it, it's hard. But you gotta be out there fighting, man. You gotta keep out there, you gotta keep believing. And the reason why you need to do that is because, although Neil Monroe says that this is the way things are, he also gave us the hope at the end of his interview that, yes, you're up against a party ideology that thinks that they are intellectually superior, that think that they have the moral high ground, that they're the party of feelings and hope and change and all this stuff, and they think that the arc of history is on their side. I say, damn all that. There's so much you can do out in your own community to build up this conservative movement. Start engaging with people, no matter what their political ideology is. Do it respectfully, do it the right way, engage them in discussion. When you bring facts into a discussion, people respond. I've seen it many times in my own personal experiences in politics. Just stay out there, keep working, keep thinking, keep believing, and keep listening to Red Nation Rising Radio. Folks, I want to thank you for listening. Thank all my guests for coming on. Next week, we do it all again. But for now, from the People's Republic of New York City, we are out of here. Good night, folks. Our position has been compromised. It's time to roll out. Report for debriefing at www.behindenemylinesradio.us and look for regular communications via Facebook and Twitter at BEL_radio. You are the resistance. Behind Enemy Lines. A Rock Radio production. Copyright 2016. Back in 7 days. Out.